That should be cool. Are we recording? Yes.
Mysteries at the refrigerator.
Un momento. Y'all know my green cup? I left my green cup at school. No thoughts are verde. Unit 2 test coming up on Tuesday. I'm gonna drop this video on Friday. Y'all gonna study from Friday to Sunday. Monday, you gonna ask any questions you got. That's it, that's it. Okay. As long as you study the study guide, you should be straight, okay? So number one, numero uno. I am gonna be speaking English and Spanish because I have to practice my Spanish. Because the only way to learn it is to practice. Let me say that again. The only way to learn it is to practice. Shaking in my boots. All right. Okay, man, come on. Select all the equations that are equivalent to, so they're not asking me to solve this. They're simply asking you to go through each one and say whether yes or no that is equivalent. So this is our original equation. I don't have my translate right in my hands, but I want to say original equation is equation originales. Nah. Let me get my translate together so you know I can do both. Hold on. Oh, Lord. Equation original. Okay? And I'm going to decide whether A, B, C, D, and E are equivalent. So let's go through each one. Different colors. Diferentes colores. I don't know if that's right, but I think so. So 5x plus 6 equals 3 minus 4x plus 12. All right, so I'm gonna look and remember, whenever I wanna identify if something is equivalent, I wanna look at what's different first. So let me look at my right side, left side. My left side changed. What changed about my left side? This 2. Now I go on this side, nothing changed. That's a red flag. That's a red flag already, because if something changed on this side, something got to change on this side. So what are they doing? In order to get rid of this 2, they had to do what? Multiply. Multiply by 2 to get rid of the denominator. Did we multiply by 2 on the right? Did we multiply by 2 on the right side? No. So A would be a no. This is not equivalent. Okay? Ooh. I don't like that. No me gusta eso. Hoodie, cuz it is for a reason in here. B. B is 5, 6 plus 2. B is 5x plus 6 divided by 2 equals negative 4x minus 9. All right, so we're going to look at what's different. My left side, is anything different? No. My right side, absolutely yes. When we seen this originally, you should have noticed, okay, them parentheses going to have to get gone at some point. So if I was to try to solve this, so if I was to distribute, I would have 3 minus 4x minus 12. Then if I keep going and combine my like terms, I have, because 3 and 12 are like terms, 3 y 12 términos similares. Negative 4x and let's start. 3 minus 12 is negative 9. Now if I go bring everything else down, because I didn't do nothing on this side, it's magic. It's magic, I'm telling you. And what is that? B. So B is definitely an equivalent equation. Okay? B es equivalente. Okay? Okay? Let's look if anything changed. Did my left side change? Yes. Did my right side change? No. So I'm going to focus my attention on the left side. We were to break this down into 2 things because this is 2 terms. Dos términos. Okay? Uno, dos. Dos términos. If I divide the 2 by 2, I got this, and I gotta divide this. So I gotta divide 5 by 2. The x, just falls down with it. And then 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's where this comes from. So C is equivalent. C is equivalente. Equación original. Okay? Okay, so let's look at D. Did the left side change? No. Did the right side change? Yes. So let's focus on the right side. Now we already solved this. I don't want to rewrite that, so bring this down, right? So if I'm just working on the right side.
Distribuir lo negativo.
What?
Distribuir lo negativo. Distribuir lo negativo.
Distribuir. 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 No. So hard having a country accent. Distribuir. 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 Alright. Distribuir lo negativo. Distribuir lo negativo. So I have to distribute the negative, right? Imagine negativo uno. Negative 1. Imagine a negative 1 right there. Okay? How did they get 15? And how did they get a positive 15? So that's how we know off rip that D is not equivalent. D no es equivalente. No es equivalente. Alright, so E is 5x plus 6 equals negative 8x minus 18. What's different? Both sides different. I'm missing the 2 over here, and then I'm missing a lot of stuff over here. So we can already tell that they've already solved this right side because there's no parentheses there. So that means they already broke this down. What did we get when we broke that down? Okay, so when we broke this side down, we ended up with this, correct? If you don't see that, rewind a little bit, okay? Now, in order for us to get rid of the 2, what do we have to do? Multiply by 2. Multiplicar dos, okay? So when I multiply by 2, multiplicar este lado tienes que multiplicar este lado, okay? So when I do that, these cancel out. That leaves me with 5x plus 6. And you really don't need this. You really don't need the parentheses no more. 5x plus 6. Distribute. I can't say that word for nothing. Distribuir. Distribuir. Dos. Okay? Oh wow, that almost looks like letter E. So what does that mean? E is equivalent. E es equivalente. Okay? Just like that, we got number 1 correct. Bam. And number 1 is like 15 points. All right, so on your test, let me look for a second. On your test, number 2 on the test, you have to explain. So you know how I went through and explained? You need to make sure that on your study guide, you write what the explanations are so you can study it. Number 2 says solve each of the following equations and show your work. This is very important that you show your work. You have to show your work. Boy, I can't stress that enough. I don't like that word. Distribuir. 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 So I have to distribuir or distribute negative 4 to 2x and negative 4 to negative 1. That will give me, so there's my next step. I'm gonna put this in Mastery Connect when I take my test. Now, if you wanna work out the whole thing and then write your steps, do that. If you wanna write the step, each step, type it in, do that, that's fine too. So I have 2 like terms on my left side. Negative 8x and 5x. What is it? Términos similares, okay? So I add, añadir. Negative 8x plus 5x is negative 3x, okay? Then now it's time for me to start moving stuff around. I want all my x's on the left. I just love having my x's on the left. So negative 3 plus x is negative 2x, because negative 3 plus imaginary 1, negative 2x. Now I got the 4. I gotta subtract 4. Restar cuatro. Negative 2x equals negative 9. Divide by negative 2. I'm gonna come up here. X equals 9 over 2. Okay? Now, if you want to put 4.5, okay, cool. But I would leave it as 9 over 2 because that is the answer. Muestra tu trabajo. Okay? Okay. And what do we do? Listen. You better not sit there and not try on this problem just because you see fractions. Not finna play with y'all. What do we do when we see parentheses? This to be weird. Oh! I said it that time. I ain't say it all the way right, but I said it a little. This to be weird. Okay? Alright. So, my calculator. Parentheses, 3 divided by 4 times 2. Okay? That gives me 1.5. 1.5x. Let me show you a trick though. Make it a little easier. If you go up, hit this, it'll copy and paste it. That way you don't have to keep putting your fraction in. Negative 16, negative 12. And then I'm gonna go back and distribute. Well, we don't gotta do too much. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. But if you wanna put it as a decimal, just because you got another decimal, you can. How you do that? All you gonna do is go in here and say 1 divided by 3, 0.33. 3x plus 2. Now you see how easy that was to get rid of these fractions. You better not sit there and not do this problem because you see fractions. Don't piss me off. All I gotta do is combine my like terms. I like my whole numbers on the right. I think right is derecho, ain't it? Right as in right side, not bien. Bien is good. Derecho. Lado side. I didn't know that. I learned a new word. Aprendí palabras nuevas. 2 plus 12 is 14. Bam, there go my next step. What else I gotta do? Combine like terms. Términos similares. I'm gonna subtract 0.33. She's very beautiful to me. I hope y'all know. She is very beautiful to me. I think that's what he said. You know I'm gonna put the video in here. Okay.
She is very gorgeous to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in my calculator and I'm gonna say 1.5 minus 0.33, 1.17. Oh, 10% remaining on the watch. I was finna be hot as cayenne pepper. If you ain't never heard nobody say that, you ain't hanging around enough old people. Everything, all my technology is dying right now. I'm surprised the laptop ain't going with it. 11.96. Now, for this particular problem, I need you to round up because the answer is 12. But if we got here, baby, you good. But maestra tu trabajo. You put this, and this, okay? You put all those steps, all right? Alright, so when you go on Master Connect, you'll see this and you'll be taking your test and it will say that, right? So number 3 and number 4, you gotta solve. Now look down there. Correct answer with shown work, 6 points. Incorrect answer, but the work justifies your answer shown, 4 points. That means you getting more credit for getting the answer wrong and showing your work than just putting the correct answer. So show your work. Now how you do that, you put each step. So this is the one we just solved, right? I'm gonna put each step in there. So -8 plus 4, 8x plus 4, plus 5x equals -5 minus x. Come on. So that's my next step, and then I'm gonna press that button, or you can just press enter and it'll go down to the next step and you type in. So you don't type the moves, you just type in the steps. Okay? And then the next step, -3x plus 4 minus 5 equals -5 minus x. Bam, 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 step by step, just like that. Okay, and same thing with that one. All right? Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect comes from you. Ooh. I might have to listen to that song. Number 3, a car rental agency charges $70 per day, which includes 100 miles. For each mile over 100 miles, there is an additional cost of .40 per mile. The key words in this is $70 per day. Now we already know that it's a 1-day rental because we look at A, but that's important though. $70 per day includes 100 miles. So that means however many miles we drove, we're going to take out 100 because that's free. Okay? Then for each mile over 100 miles, there's an additional cost of .40 per mile. So let's just break it down the way we know how to write it. $70 per day. I already told you it's 1 day. 70 times 1 is 70. All right? Then we know that we got to do the additional cost of 40 cents per mile. All right? And then on A, it tells us that the total cost for a 1-day rental was $212. This is not wrong. However, it's not including all of my information. Because remember, however many miles I drove, I gotta subtract 100 from it. Because 100 of those miles are free. So I have to subtract 100 from however many miles. Do I know how many miles? No. So I'm gonna subtract 100 from M. So your answer should be 70 plus 40, parentheses, M minus 100. Okay? So all this is saying is whenever we figure out how many miles you drove, whenever we figure that out, go ahead and take 100 away from it before you do anything. Respuesta para 3. Now for B, we have to solve the equation. Don't judge my little 212. Just leave her alone. What do I do first? Distribuir. I said it wrong that time. Distribuir. Bam, I got that. Do I have like terms on my left side? Left lado? C. Then combine my like terms. So términos similares. 212 minus 30. I just don't feel like it. Let's be honest. All right, and then I divide. Divide is dividir, I think. I can't. Uh-oh, I'm getting tired. I'm getting goofy. Equals 455. Do you have to explain what it means on this test? Let me see. I think you do. You do. So there's a difference in the points. If you just put M equals 455 and you don't say what this means. What does this mean? They drove 455 miles. But if you want to say the cost of driving 455 miles is $212, you can. But as long as you say miles is 455, you got all those points, shawty. All of them. You got all of them. Whew. Well, I feel like I'm in school. I'm tired. Yo cansado. Alright. The surface area S of a cylinder is calculated using the formula S equals 2 pi RH plus 2 pi R squared. Which equation is equivalent to the formula solve for H? Donde H? Right here. H is right here. So I need to focus on getting H by itself. Right? This is no different from any other problem. No different. Actually, let's do an example. Come over here. This is the same exact thing. What would you move first right here? You would subtract 2, right? Restar dos. You would say 10 equals 2x. Then what would we do to get x by itself? Dividir dos. 5 equals x. Nothing, absolutely nothing is different, okay? So the same way we did this is the same way we gonna do this. Same exact thing. Oh, I know you lying, hold on. What do I need to move first in order to get H back up? I need to move this 2 pi R squared. I don't want to separate this. I don't care about this. I just need to move it. And I need to move it to this side. Just like we move 2 to the left side, we gotta move 2 pi R squared to the left side. So I'm gonna subtract the entire 2 pi R squared. Now, this is a S. This ain't no S. So I can't combine those two. So what do? I just say S minus 2 pi R squared equals 2 pi R H. Okay? Now when we got to that step over here, what do? We divided by 2. We divided by 2 to get rid of it so we can get x by itself. X was our variable. Our variable is h. 2 pi RH is just saying 2 times pi times r times h. All of these are multiplying. Multiply, multiply, multiply. In order to get rid of a multiply, we gotta divide. So I'm gonna divide by everything I wanna move. I wanna move 2, I wanna move pi, and I wanna move r. And leave h over there by itself. These cancel out. My answer is S minus 2 pi R squared divided by 2 pi R. Look at you. Look at you, man. You thought you couldn't do it and you could. Like, I didn't say a lot of Spanish on that problem. Just because it was a lot. It was complicated to explain in English. I know it would be complicated to explain in Spanish. Mucho palabras nuevas. These fumes is tearing me up. Tickets to the zoo cost $12 for adults and $8 for children. The school has a budget of $240 for the field trip. An equation representing the budget for the trip is 12x plus 8y equals 240. With a budget of $240, determine if 21 students and 6 adults can go to the zoo. All they're trying to do right here is see if you can tell where to put that 21 and where to put that 6. So if I have 12x, plus 8y equals 240. $12 represents who? Adults. So that means X has to be adults. Because adults paying 12. Y gotta be kids, we'll say. Because I ain't got enough room for children, I don't think. with a budget of 240, determine if 21 students and 6 adults can go. So I'm just gonna plug in, okay? I'm gonna go put this in my calculator and see what I get. And what I get, 240. So can 21 students and 6 adults go to the zoo? Yes. And your explanation is 12 times 6 plus 8 times 21 equals 240. That's your explanation. All right? If there are 8 adults who need tickets, what is the maximum number of students who can go to the school? Go where? What? Maximum number of students who can go to the zoo while staying within the school budget. 8 adults go. How many kids can go? We already know that kids is Y. So I'm going to plug in where I see adults. To find out how many can go, I have to solve. 12 times 8 is 96. Y equals 18. Okay? So that's saying if 8 adults go to the zoo, only 18 kids can go, and we still can only spend $240. If any more than 18 go, we going above 240 and we don't have the money, we're going to be washing dishes. You explain or show your reasoning. When you plug in for 8, Y is 18. That's your explanation, just like that. When you plug in 8 for X, Y is 18. All right? So solve my equation. So the same equation, you want me to solve for Y. As long as you know what's happening, you know what to do. What do I need to move first in order to get to Y? There's something that's you want to get as close to Y as you can, but it's something that I got to hit before I get to Y, and that's 12x. I don't want to split up 12x. I just want to move 12x. Positivo, restar. I hope that's what positive is. Let me look. Ooh, positivo. I still need to get to Y. Como se dice both? Dividir ambos lados. Y 240 minus 12x divided by 8. Now, you could leave this. You could do this as your final answer. You would still be right. That could be your final answer. Or you can just break it down. Or you can put Y equals 30 minus 1.5x. So you can put either one of these. Derecho. Tres derecho. I know that's not the right way to say it. Los tres tienen razón. Oh, that was absolutely wrong. Tres tienen razón. Either one. It don't matter. Either one. Is there a way to solve this? Yes. I don't want you to take all of your time trying to figure out how to solve this. The most efficient way to do it is to use either Desmos or your calculator. And let me show you how. So I know that it's giving me 4 options. I got A, -10, B, -6, C, 6, D, 10. The cuatro opciones. Okay? My equation is a fraction. So I'm plugging in, I'm gonna start with D and go up. D, positive 10. So I'm gonna say 10 plus 3 divided by 6. Because that's the left side of my equation, right? 2.166. All right. So that's where we got the 10 plus 3 divided by x. That side right there. So 2.16 or 2.17 on the left side is greater than, then I'm gonna go back in my calculator, x divided by 4 plus 1. So put it in the calculator, 10 divided by 4, because dx is x. I got 3.5. Is 2.17 greater than 3.5? No, so D is not an option. Or para C, X is 6, okay? And over. So for the left side, I got 1.5, 2.5. So 1.5 is greater than 2.5? No. 6 negativo. This sign. Is it negative? Yeah. Bam. Negative 0.5. Right down. Sign. Negative 0.5. Is negative 0.5 greater than negative 0.5? No. Now just hold on a second. If all three of these wrong, A es derecho. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that. No sé. But A is the correct answer, okay? A es respuesta correcta. I've learned so many new Spanish words in this one day. You have no idea. I've been speaking Spanish for at least 2 hours out of the 24. I love it though. I'm really excited to learn Spanish. Excited! Y'all ever seen that? So excited! I'm so excited. Now this one right here, it's a lot of reading. So the gardening club at school is growing vegetables. The club has 300 square feet of planting beds. I would recommend that you make a known and unknown list, or a known list, or maybe a list. Select all the equations or inequalities that could describe this situation. Let C represent the number. That's an important part right there. Let C represent the number of cucumber plants. That's not the space for the cucumber plants. That's the number of cucumber plants. And T represent the number of tomato plants. So let's go through each one. We already know that C represents the number of cucumber plants. So will the number of cucumber plants be greater than 0? Yes, because they told us that they want to plant both. The students want to plant some of each type of plant, both plants. So that means I'm not going to have a 0 of cucumber or tomato. Okay, so A is one of them. A es respuesta correcta. Now, B, T is less than 0. Can I have a negative tomato plant? Because the only numbers less than 0 are negatives. So no B, no B. Okay? C is C plus T equals 300. This is a trick. C and T are the number of plants. 300 is talking about space. This is talking about amount. We can't put those together because we're talking about two different things. We're talking about two different things, and we never said anything about having 300 plants. 300? Nobody ever said anything about that. So no C. C is not an answer. C es respuesta no correcta. Yeah. D, C plus T is greater than or equal to 60. Now listen, so C plus T, we already know that's the number. 60, where do we see 60 in that problem? Type of plant and have at least 60 plants greater than or equal to. I can have 60, but I also can have more than 60. So D, respuesta correcta. Okay? And then E says 6C plus 4T. The club has 300 square feet of planting beds. So if they have a total of 300 square feet, do we have to plant 300? No, we don't have to plant on the whole 300 square feet. But we sure ain't got enough space to go over 300 square feet. So it can be less than or equal to. So E is correct. E, respuesta correcta. Okay? And F is just the opposite of E. And F is saying we can have more than, greater than or equal to 300. We already told you only got 300 square feet. Well, why you going 301? So F is not correct. Okay? So a jewelry artist is selling necklaces at an art fair. It costs $135 to rent a booth at the fair. The cost of materials for each necklace is $4.50. The artist is selling the necklaces at $12 each. The inequality 12N is greater than 135 plus 450N represents the situation in which the artist makes a profit. Will the artist make a profit if he sells 15 necklaces? If they want to know, will he make a profit for 15, I gotta plug in 15 for 12. Como se dice plug in? Enchufa 15, okay? Enchufa 15 para N. 180. So 180 is greater than, because I got to keep my sign. I think it's the fumes. I think it's the fumes from that spray, for real. I'm spraying too much. Lord, you're gonna kill myself. All right, let's ask ourselves a question. Is 180 greater than 202.5? No. Now here's how you can figure out if he made a profit or not. It's the lotto. This side is the profit. So this is how much he makes when he sells it, right? So the cost of the materials is $450, and then $135 to rent the booth. So this is his expenses. This is already telling me that no, he is not making a profit. And your explanation should be, when he sells 15 necklaces, he made $180, but it cost him $202 to make 15 necklaces. So he's not making a profit. Solve the inequality. God, I'm over here dying. I'm so glad this is the last question. I can't breathe. Okay. I'm crying. All right. So when I go to solve this, right? You just made a whole 100 on your test. Quit playing. But not yet, because you didn't explain what this means. Now, what does this mean? This means that if he sells more than 18 necklaces, he can make a profit. As long as N is greater than 18, as long as this is greater than 18, he can make a profit. Guess what I'm finna say. Just guess. I'm having you guess because I don't know. The whole test right there. I think I'm finna get a headache for real. While I'm sitting here playing. It really ain't no joke. No joke. Wait, how I say that? No es broma. No es broma. Me estoy muriendo. Yes, me estoy muriendo. What's gonna be my little outro? Study this study guide so you can make a good grade on the test. What's the benediction thing? Hold on. No, that ain't it. But I got a church quote for you. If you don't study this test, all I'm gonna know is if God don't do it, it just won't get done.
One thing I have realized, that if God don't do it, it just won't get done. It's gonna take a miracle from God. If God don't do it, it won't get done. If God don't do it, it won't